tell you one thing they're going to do. They paid one of their guys yesterday.
Smart.
You know who it is?
Smart.
It's Kerby Joseph.
Yeah. Smart.
4 years, $86 million. That's $21.5 million a year, making him the highest paid safety in NFL history.
Wow. Smart.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen. It was going to be any day now. Matter of fact, he threw out the opening pitch yesterday at Comerica Park. You knew it was a great day, and I think he's in Green Bay. I think he's making one of the picks in the second round for the Lions. So Kerby Joseph, one safety down. Brian Branch posted his Instagram, said, listen, man, I'm so happy for you. Keep it going. And then Jamison Williams put his post out. I showed you that as well. Everyone is happy for Kerby.
Kerby won 3 games on his own at the end of the fourth quarter with a critical interception, turnover, big plays. When you look at the numbers and the things that he's done in his first few years, there's one other guy that's done it as well. My favorite player of all time, Ed Reed. When you're in that kind of company, you got to keep that guy here. And while everybody in Detroit is just fascinated and focused on who's going to be the edge, Dan and Brad make another great move. They signed one of their guys, a guy that they identified through the draft. They took him. They've developed him into a premier safety and a guy that can flip a game at the most crucial moment. I think it's an absolutely awesome signing for this Detroit Lions team. I know there was a lot of people this offseason that didn't think that they should, but these guys are building it differently. And until all of these Detroit Lion fans get 40 years in a company with a franchise and start making these kinds of moves, at some point you have to look at their track record and you just have to trust in what these guys do because they're doing it differently. And in fact, I think that they might be setting a new trend that you'll be seeing more teams follow in the NFL.
The trend is basically, look, we're not going to go for the high-priced free agents. Despite what I say, despite what we all want on the chat, at least some of us. I'm the leader of that, I know. I always want the big-name free agents. I want instant satisfaction. They're not going to do that. What they do is they draft great players, quality players, and now they want to keep them. Kerby, one down. Goff, they got him. He's taken care of. Penei Sewell, taken care of. Here's who's left. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Aiden Hutchinson, and I know I'm missing one other as well. But those 5 or 6 players are next due. Who gets it next? I hope they could pay Brian Branch next year. They have one extra year to sign him because he was a first-round pick. Kerby had to be done this year because he's on the last year of his deal because he was a second-round pick. So we got an extra year for Branch. We got an extra year for Aiden Hutchinson. Will they wait that year? We'll see. Last year, around this draft, is when they started signing their players. They signed Penei last year, if you remember, at this time as well. So let me ask you this, Anson. Do they re-sign Brian Branch to a big contract, or are they going to draft his replacement tonight?
I don't see many players in the NFL better than Brian Branch at what he does. The guy is an ultimate disruptor. But there's something that people don't really pay a lot of attention to, and that is chemistry in the defensive backfield. And when you bring in corners, it's one thing, but those two safeties understand each other just as much as they understand the scheme that the Lions want to run. I'd love to keep those two together, manning and captaining our defensive backfield, because to me, we've seen so many different corners come in and out. The consistent part is Kerby and Branch, and it starts with those two and it trickles down to the rest. So, I mean, personally, my favorite position on the field is free safety. Mm-hmm. Strong safety is my second favorite. So a little bit of Kool-Aid for me on those two guys, but they are two of the premier safeties in this league. They've grown up together in the NFL. Let's keep them playing together for at least another 5 years.
I'm with you. I hope so. I love Brian Branch. I told you. He was my favorite draft pick from that draft a couple of years ago because he didn't get picked in the first round. He slid.
He's a steal.
He stayed there. He got redressed, dressed sharp, looked great for day 2. And when they called his name, he went on that stage and shook. And I forgot who was on the mic at that time. I don't think it was Goodell. I think it was his guy, his secondary guy. But the fans cheered him. It was in Kansas City. The fans cheered him, and it was great to see that kid wanted his dream, and he stayed. I told my wife, look at this guy. This guy's going to be special, and he has been special. He was special in his first freaking game against the Chiefs.
True
you
story.
remember it. Interception, touchdown. You know the mouthpiece, the green mouthpiece that sticks out of his helmet. You know where Brian Branch is. Please, Lions, Brad Holmes, sign this guy next year. Do not draft me a safety tonight. Do not.
I think. Sorry.
Pete,
I was going to say, I think Anson's correct because Anson, your point is proven by Philadelphia last year, and they did it with 2 rookies. And to have that chemistry in the backfield is so incredibly important. And whatever Kerby Joseph wants from now on, he gets. Yeah. It's like, if he's going to captain that, if he and Branch are going to captain that backfield, then Ennis Rakestraw is going to have to literally just they're going to have to be on the same page and have that chemistry. It's same for Terry and Arnold and all that stuff. And I agree with you because that's going to make or break the Lions, especially this coming season with what the Bears have planned for them coming up in 2 games this season.
And if you don't sign Brian Branch, the Honey Brancher,
right?
How the hell do you replace him? That's got to be scarier to me.
You replace him with another terrific college player like they did, and that's their specialty, right?
Sure.
That's Brad Holmes' specialty. I don't want them to do it, but I would not be shocked if they grab a corner or a safety tonight.
No, I mean,
or tomorrow.
Again, I'm not going to be shocked by any position that they draft because I'm going to stick to my guns on the fact that there's an 18-man list every year that these guys come in with, and all it comes down to is the player, not the position. But R.J. Graham did break the seal on the Super Chat. Detroit be rocking. I will be watching the Pistons as my main course and Lions draft as a side dish. There might be trades. Kerby is elite. We talked about this early in the week with Stick. He came back on Tuesday and apologized after watching the Pistons Monday night.
He did.
And I guess I am kind of curious. I'd love to hear from the chat. Which is going to have the majority of your attention? Is it going to be the Pistons, or are you going to be listening for that bell every few minutes on ESPN's draft coverage?
I think we have it in there, Ricky, somewhere.
Do we?
You can find that ESPN chime somewhere eventually.
I'm pretty sure we
probably should have told you that
super.
weeks and weeks ago.
Yeah, right. I'll look for it.
Nonetheless, I just heard from Ryan Ermanni. He's in Florida chilling. He's going to join us coming up here in about 10 minutes. So, Pete, watch out on the
and I put a poll in the put a poll, Cougar, in the chat.
Regarding your question. Is in the chat, guys.
It was nice of him to leave some sun for us.
Yeah.
NBA or NFL tonight?
See you at draft.
Wow. I don't know. Ricky, we could hear what you're playing, by the way.
Yeah, no,
it's okay.
I thought that was it. It said
Michael
draft,
Wary hopped in. If they draft a safety, it's a depth piece. And you're certainly right with that. It is also an option after this season where you can look and where you're at. Do we need to re-sign Branch? Did we hit the lotto in the draft with this young safety that could possibly prevent us from having to re-up and extend a guy like Brian Branch? Because it's going to be costly. But again, this team doesn't give big contracts to guys they don't know. They give big contracts to guys that they sought out, found, drafted, developed.
Right. Dante 151 in the chat says, look at Craig Woodson from Cal. So let's check out Craig Woodson from Cal. I'm not sure who he is.
Well, while you're looking at that, Byrne, again, yesterday's winner, he's in with another super chat
Burns
here.
back
I don't want to lose any of them because they are so good, but Brad excels at drafting wide receivers and safeties in any round. 1, 2, 3, 4, the dumpster outside. He does. He hits in pretty much every single round. So, again, I don't even care who these guys draft because I just have so much confidence.
It'll be exciting no matter what. It'll be exciting. And
it's a holiday.
A guy that everyone thought was going to get traded, it's Jameson Williams. Well, guess what? The Lions put this little ditty out yesterday, and there he is working out at the top. There's the rest of the team. Well, 3 other guys. I think Ragnow is in there.
Is that a concussion beanie he's wearing?
That's not a concussion beanie. It's just a beanie. But that is Jameson Williams already at Allen Park working out. I saw Goff go in there a couple of days ago. So they're back, guys. They're working out, and it don't look like Jameson Williams is going anywhere. That's the subtle way the Lions have told us, chill out, man. He's staying a Lion.
Who do you think drove this smoke screen trade rumor more? Hateful fans out of Detroit, or just nervous Detroit fans that are just obsessed with this guy?
Nervous.
I think it's guys like us that want to throw stuff out there. You see a guy's name, you see a rumor. People put rumors out. 99% of them are just nothing. They're clickbait. And I've gotten caught a million times on the New York porch. And Adam Schefter. All right, Adam Schefter is one of my favorite follows. New York porch.
I see what you did there.
But that's the truth.
That's the
He's
truth.
true. Adam Schefter is out there.
Shafter and New
Is
York
out there,
Porch.
and they
It's
put
true.
fake news out. If you look real quick, I got breaking news: Jameson Williams is getting traded. No, he's not. And it's us. We drive it, and then you guys feed into it, and that's what we do together. We're all together. It's like sitting at a bar. That's like sitting at Buddy's tonight with us. Make sure you come on out and see us. I promise you, I'll give you a slice if you come and say hi to us.
And the latest one, Tommy, George Pickens has unfollowed the Pittsburgh Steelers Instagram. That's the
I know
latest
George
one.
Pickens and Deontay Johnson, my two least favorite people. Tyreek Hill's on the top of the chain. No, well, you know who's on the top of the chain.
LeBron.
You know who the tree ornament, who the
LeBron.
angel is on top of the tree. It's you know who. It's LeBron. Okay, but then I'm gonna put Tyreek Hill right there. He's going to hang right below LeBron. A couple branches down, I'm going to put George Pickens on one, Deontay Johnson on the other one. Last year, I was begging Deontay Johnson to get traded to the Panthers, and it happened. He went to the worst team in the league, and guess what? They kicked him off the freaking team.
And then he went to the Ravens. Well,
Then he went to the Ravens. Quit them. Then something else. Then the Ravens signed him for the playoff, but they didn't win a game. These guys are bums. Honestly, they're bums.
It's weird how every
Tell us how you really feel,
city
man.
has
You know it,
their,
Rick.
every city has their sports crack, if you will. In Detroit, nobody can get enough of Myles Garrett and J-Mo talk. That's
true.
Like, even if there's nothing going on, somebody wants to bring these guys up and let's fight. Listen, there's no reason to trade J-Mo this year unless there's in-house stuff that hasn't hit the media. We know all about his track record with driving at night with the gun, with the performance-enhancing substances and all of that
the
stuff.
gambling.
But you think about
gambling.
it, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with these players and these teams that never hit the media. So unless there's something like that, there's zero reason to trade this guy this year. Now, going into next year, if he doesn't come through with a completely clean 2025, that is when you can move him. That is when you avoid the $20+ million contract that you'd have to sign him to in order to keep him in town. And you get a little bit for him. You get a third or a fourth. Or you just let him play it out, and then you let somebody else sign him, and you take the compensatory third. Regardless, giving him up just to move up in the draft, you're losing an elite player.
Yeah.
Even if he causes
Unless
any
you're moving
kind of
up for
chemistry
Abdul
issues.
Carter.
What's that?
That's true.
Unless you're moving up for Abdul Carter.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough.
No.
It's not going to be enough. So you let this guy run with this squad for the next 2 years of this beautiful Super Bowl window that we are smack dab.
I agree.
Dante on the chat. Maz, what about Antonio Brown? Listen, Antonio
over.
Brown is so whack
It's over.
that
for
I
him.
almost like him.
Yeah.
He's like reinvented himself. He is hilarious.
His
What a
X page.
follow.
Sounds like we got Maz in the running for Cracker of the Day, Rick.
He's a follower. I mean, follow him on Twitter is hilarious.
I can't
The stuff he
I
puts
can't
out.
watch it. I can't watch it.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I didn't hear you, Rick.
It's
What'd you
sad.
say?
I said I can't watch it. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's way too sad.
I'll tell you, man. But I think he's a lot smarter and a lot sharper than we all pay attention to. I do.
Nah,
You
I
don't?
don't think so. No. I hate to call it CTE, but
Yeah.
it's pretty apparent that he's lost it. He's lost something. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Well, you saw his post from yesterday here, Tommy. One of your favorites here, Tom. I'll put this up. That was his post from yesterday.
Oh God.
I
That's
saw
that's the Sterling
Brown.
Sharp doll.
With the evidence tape.
Yep. And the
The girl.
OnlyFans hooker.
You know, I looked
That was
into
from
that a little.
Antonio Brown.
I looked into that a little more last night. I'd like to recant my statements. I think Shannon Sharp is heavily guilty on this one, just based on. Listen, you know these days that text messages can be subpoenaed and are forever written in data. When you speak on the phone and all the things that she said to him very clearly, he said, I need to talk to you. I need to speak to you. And that's why that smart young 19-year-old girl has that evidence tape. This one's not going to turn out well for Shannon Sharp. I do want to shift real quick. One of the guys that got in here early, which was R.J. Graham, really does want this autographed Darren McCarty card. I hope that you win it, buddy, but I know that there's going to be a lot more of you guys getting in it. Super Chat will read your statement on air, and you'll enter yourself into winning this, as well as the Braylon Edwards rookie card.
You get on the wheel.
One of my favorite chatters, Stick Sucks, of course, love that name. He says, Maz, AB is dating Caitlin Clark. No, he's not.
She was caught chugging a beer the other night.
That's my girl. You leave my girl alone. Leave her out of it.